What's up, guys? Charles from Team COG coming at you guys here with another DDD combo tutorial showcasing you how to play through Imperm on your Gilgamesh. So before the deck got its new support, Gilgamesh was the choke point of the deck, right? The deck just literally struggled to where when you make Gilgamesh and if they Imperm this guy, effect this guy, your turn just ended. I mean, this is fair. This is a pretty big bottleneck of the deck, but due to all the new support that we've gotten, the bottleneck's no longer there. Like, we're able to play through Imperm solely on Gilgamesh, or Effect Rather solely on Gilgamesh, and that is so nice that you're able to put up 4 to 5 disruptions, at 3 at worst, which I'll showcase. I'll go through each one of the combos, the one-card starters, to show you. Now, of course, as I said in the last how this deck can beat Nib video, you guys gotta understand that if you pair any, like, Imperm with, like, another hand trap, it, of course, changes, right? When you have, like, those type of hand traps coming in, when it's more than just one, it definitely, it does change quite a bit. So don't just think that, oh, loses to Imperm, but this line loses to Nib, right? And that's right. If they have Nib Imperm, you're getting cooked one way or the other. However, you also will have 4 other cards in your hand to potentially help you play through, counter, like maybe you get lucky, you draw Cross out, maybe you have like Call By, maybe you have, you know, like they have Fuwa, you have Ashra Fuwa, you know, etc., etc. But anyway, I wanted to go ahead and showcase you guys how Zero Queen, Kepler, and Dark Contract beats Imperm on Gilgamesh. And also remember that this deck is able to be crafted the way that you want to. So just because there's probably like 5 different combos or 100 different combos that do the same thing, that beat the same card, but this is just what my list can currently do, and it's shown on the channel, right? So please remember, if you guys enjoy this type of content, hit that subscribe button, ding that notification bell. If you guys really want to help support the channel, become a member. I'm super appreciative of all my members and the support that they give to this channel. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump on into the combo tutorial here. So we're going to start with Zero Doom Queen Machinax, arguably the best card that we've got in Dude. So I'll quickly showcase you guys this. You're going to activate the Queen Machinax over in the Pendulum Zone, being able to place the Dark Contract with the Gate. Go ahead and use Gate to go ahead and add yourself your Kepler. You'll go ahead and normal summon out your Kepler. Kepler's effect grabs you Dark Contract with the Zero King. Activate Dark Contract with the Zero King. You activate it, then now use the effect to destroy the Queen, to go ahead and summon out the Copernicus. Let's see here. It seems like everything's just a little bit crooked here. There we go. Okay. All right. Copernicus to go ahead and send the soldier to the graveyard. Go ahead and use soldier's effect, destroying the gate, to bring itself back out. You go ahead and use its effect to increase its level by 2. Then you overlay for Solomon. We'll go ahead and use Solomon here, detaching to search for our Griffin. And then we'll go ahead and XYZ on top of Solomon Kingtail here. So now we go ahead and link into our Link 2 monster in the form of Gilgamesh. We'll go ahead and go Chain Link 1, Tell, Chain Link 2, Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh eats the Imperm. Tell sends the Necro Slime. So now that's pretty big, right? Losing the Gilgamesh effect to set the scales, like, that's kind of wild. Like, the only thing that can interact with Gilgamesh is like Effect Veiler, Imperm, and those are the only cards that can interact with it. So most of the time this card will be resolving unless they happen to open those cards. But when they do have those cards, this is what you can do. We'll go ahead and banish Necro Slime and the King Tell here to go ahead and summon out our Genghis. I get a kind of tongue tie with Gilgamesh and Genghis. So we'll summon out Genghis. We'll then special summon out the Griffin from our hand, triggering the Genghis to summon back the Land Soldier from our graveyard. Right here, we go ahead and synchro here, using the Griffin and the Land Soldier into Clovis. We'll use Clovis's effect. When it is synchro summoned, you can special summon from the graveyard or banish, or excuse me, you special summon from the banish, but if you control a Dark Contract, you can go from the graveyard, which doesn't matter, because we're just going to go ahead and bring out the King Tell. And then we'll go ahead and overlay here for our Wave King Caesar, and then we'll smack on our Divisor King here. So if you happen to have any other extender that you guys could think of, you can make the Zeus right here. So then your inboard is a little bit more, but just with one card. And this board's pretty layered, and I'll go ahead and explain why. So you have 2 forms of disruption off of the High Wave King Caesar. You have technically 2 effects to attach a card from field to the king here, and that's crazy. So that's 4 forms of disruption, but there's even more, because if they solve the Gilgamesh right here by card effect or battle, it floats into a Siegfried. It can float into whatever you want, but something that's lurking that a lot of people don't know, you use the king to destroy this Dark Contract. You have the queen in the graveyard that'll trigger summoning itself and then destroying, non-targeting, destroying a card, right? And then you'll have 2 cards attached to Divisor here. So then you can detach those 2 cards, including the William Tell. And then when you detach those 2, you're able to send from the deck to the graveyard the Scale Surveyor. Scale Surveyor will trigger its effect, targeting the Kepler to add it back to hand. So you get recursion and essentially 5 forms of disruption through just Doom Queen by itself. And that's, you know, that's pretty wild. So anyway, I'll quickly wrap it up here and showcase you guys just Kepler, which is pretty much the same thing, and then we'll move on to just opening gate. So here we go. All right, guys, so just Kepler, it's literally the exact same thing as the Queen, but I figured I'll showcase you because Queen, Kepler, and Gate are all one card combos in a way. So I'll just go ahead and show you the Kepler. So you just normal summon Kepler, use its effect to go ahead and grab yourself Dark Contract at the gate, activate Dark Contract, search the Queen, activate the Queen, Queen effect to place the Dark Contract with 0 King to destroy the Queen, to summon out your Copernicus. Copernicus effect to send the Land Soldier, target the Dark Contract, destroy it to summon itself, and then increase its level by 2. Overlay for Solomon, detach here for Solomon to go ahead and add to your hand Griffin, and then you overlay here for King Tell. Like the last combo, exactly like the last combo, you make Gilgamesh. You go Chainlink 1 Tell, Chainlink 2 Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh eats the Imperm, Tell will send your slime. Again, you go ahead and banish these two to summon out your Genghis. You go ahead and special summon out your Griffin, triggering the Genghis to summon back out your Land Soldier. And then you synchro summon Land Soldier and this into your Clovis. Clovis will then activate, summoning back out the Tell. You then overlay here for your Caesar, smack on the Tell, and the exact same inboard as before. So again, that's still through Imperm on Gilgamesh. Again, if you did open an extender, you could be able to extend up into Sky King Zeus. And then your inboard has an additional form of disruption. It's 6 disruptions then. But again, like I said, 2 forms here, 2 destructions here. Once you destroy the Dark Contract, so on your first effect of Machinex here, you're going to be able to summon out the Queen and non-targeting destroy, which a lot of people kind of forget about. And then if they happen to remove this, you can float into Siegfried if you want. And then that's another spell and trap negate there. So we'll quickly wrap it up and show you just Gate, which is a little bit slightly different. You get a little bit one form of disruption less out of it, but still, nonetheless, I would just want to showcase you guys what one Gate can do through an Imperm on Gilgamesh. Okay, guys, so here we go. We're going to showcase you guys what you can do with Dark Contract with the Gate. There is a pivot in the add of Solomon. If you just add the Griffin, you end on 1 less disruption. But if you add the Kepler, you can end on 1 more disruption, which I'll showcase the Kepler line. But just take note, when we get to the point of Solomon, both routes, and it leads you to the same thing, but the Kepler will get you 1 more search. So anyway, here we go. Go ahead and activate the Dark Contract with the Gate to go ahead and search yourself the Queen. Activate Queen. Queen will place the Gate, the Dark Contract with the 0 King. Use 0 King to destroy the Queen. Summon out your Copernicus. Copernicus effect to go ahead and send the Knight, or Lance Soldier. We'll go ahead and use Lance Soldier, destroying the Dark Contract with the Gate to summon itself out. I always like to go with Gate because you play 3 copies of this and 1 of this, so you want to keep this card in rotation if you can. Use the effect of Lance to go ahead and increase its level by 2 to go ahead and make Solomon. So this is where you can change what you want to do. You detach here to search. You can search your Griffin here, and then you can just special out. You can make King Tell special combo that way, right? You do get to like 1 form less of disruption, but I'm going to showcase you guys how to get to 1 more additional form of disruption. So you get to search out your DD7 Kepler. Go ahead and normal summon the Kepler to go ahead and add yourself Dark Contract with Eternal Darkness. Go ahead and XYZ here into King Tell. And then just like all the other combos, we're going to link off here into Gilgamesh, the man with the bullseye on his head. So we go Chainlink 1 Tell, Chainlink 2 Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh eats the Imperm, and then Tell resolves sending this here. So if you guys will notice, we're missing an extender. So we do kind of have to play a little bit different. But anyway, we will play a little bit differently here. We'll banish King Tell and banish the Marksman to go ahead and summon out Genghis. And what would you do? How do we do this right here? Well, we're going to go ahead and use Gilgamesh here to make the Divisor King, and then trigger the Gilgamesh to go ahead and summon out our Land Soldier. Now here, you go ahead and synchro off Land Soldier and Gilgamesh into Siegfried, and then you have the Eternal Darkness here to set. So again, what type of, how many disruptions do we have? We have, I think, 3 disruptions off a Divisor King, because during the standby phase, you just flip this. This card is not doing anything whatsoever, so it's just additional, fodder for Divisor here. But you do now have the ability to kind of control when you can fire off your Queen up here. So we have a Spell and Trap Negate here. We have essentially, I think, 3 forms of disruption, so we can literally, 3 forms, because you use Divisor's effect to destroy the 0 King, attach a card, then you can detach the 2 material from that. That's 2 effects. Then Divisor can destroy this to attach. So you have 3 gobbles here. So that's 3, 4, 5 forms of disruption, with the Queen being able to summon itself out when you destroy either one of these 2 here. Now, of course, this does change depending on what you have in your hand. If you have 2 scales you can throw in here, this makes this board a little bit better, because Dark Contract of the Eternal Darkness will be serving as a floodgate rather than just being a fodder for Divisor. So Yeah, so that's all 3 one-card combos playing through Imperm on Gilgamesh. Comment down below what other hand traps you want to see this deck play through, man. I am very, very much amazed at how well this deck can play through. Its choke points play through 1 to 2 hand traps, and then like very impactful hand traps that other decks have to like cower in fear before. So, yep. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. This is Charles from Team COG signing out.